SoundOff, Louisiana's premier television sports talk show, is on deck from the Caesars Sportsbook at Horseshoe Lake Charles. The three wise guys are mic'd up and ready. SoundOff begins now.
Super Bowl week is here, live and on tape from Caesars Sportsbook, Horseshoe Lake Charles. That would be SoundOff. Thanks for being here with us on CBS Lake Charles. Three wise guys for the next 30 minutes. I hate to point, but it's rude to go over you. Guidry, Hobbs, and Cerro here, like I said, for the next half hour.
Can you imagine what that screen's going to look like in a couple days?
That's the Caesars Sportsbook, and it's going to be flooded with all kind of information.
Yes,
all right, you got your Super Bowl picks ready? 59 from the Superdome.
Yes,
that would be the Caesars Superdome, by the way. We'll get into that. The Saints still don't have a head football coach, by the way, and it appears to be leaning more and more toward Eagles OC Kellen Moore. Save your opinion. That's coming up. That's coming up in the first break. News on the LSU coaching staff and how BK has turned this thing into Louisiana full and through. This coaching staff with the Tigers. We told you months ago, maybe even longer, the McNeese Cowboy basketball team was not going to run the table and go unscathed in the Southland. They dropped their first game down in Thibodeau. We told you that.
But Rick,
so don't freak out.
Can you say that?
Don't freak out.
Thibodeau is a good team. Can we?
You probably freaking out. LSU men's
basketball
basketball against number one last week after our show productions. I thought they put up a good fight. We'll talk a little time.
They're playing the really good teams they did. Then they get to the winnable
They're in trouble
game.
is what they are.
I know. All right, and a great story out of Mobile. Former Tiger receiver Jack Besh.
Yes.
Emotional, heart-tugging. You got to stick around for that story if you haven't heard about it already. And, of course, the mega deal in the NBA. Luka and LeBron.
Can you believe that?
Curmudgeon will sit this one out because he hates the NBA. That's a
We
big
did not see that coming. We did
Luka
not see that coming.
And AD.
Luka.
Did I say LeBron? It's Luka and AD, Anthony.
Yeah.
All right, let's start with the long, drawn-out Saints search for a new head coach. All right.
Rick, I don't know if that's
Get
good or
this.
bad.
Dennis Allen and Clint Kubiak already have jobs, and we still don't have a Saints head coach.
Yeah.
Think about that. They have met or at least talked with Kellen Moore in Philadelphia, from Philadelphia, because they just got to New Orleans this week for pregame.
But
I mean,
did I go on record to say that who they wouldn't hire?
Yes, you did.
Help me out, Scooter.
But he pulled out. Mike McCarthy pulled out. Don't take all the credit.
I said it right here on television.
Well,
I
when
Mike
Kevin
Guidry
will
speaks,
everybody has to follow suit.
Y'all know that man was not going to the
I would have
Saints.
taking him in a heartbeat.
I did not see the fit there.
That's
always
not.
dangerous.
I would have taken him because he's won a Super Bowl.
The most successful coach they've had came from the Cowboys.
That's right.
Yeah, you're right.
Not after
the Giants and the
fired.
Cowboys.
You're right.
All right. It's got to be Kellen Moore. If the announcement, because of NFL rules, they can't talk to him this week, it'll probably, news will leak out right after the game, after the Super Bowl Sunday. If it's Kellen Moore, Monday, the announcement, guys, has to be made. If it's Moore, they have to announce it.
Rick,
let's get off the pot here.
You know what the problem is, Rick? This is what the Saints are worried about. Does Kellen Moore want to come to the Saints?
Well, that's kind of the question. If they can't talk to him, how do they know? How do they do
because
it
the earlier
how
conversations,
do they do it Monday?
reportedly they've had in-depth conversations with him.
But just because of the short timeline, Rick, can you imagine how much stuff has to be accomplished within that timeline?
Staff,
of
draft,
getting him there?
Organization, yeah. All right, more on that in the Thursday show. I got some more stuff I want to talk about.
They don't recruit, so you're not that far
You're
behind.
right.
You're right. All right, Super Bowl 59. You know the matchup. Coming up Sunday at the Caesars Superdome. Kansas City, Philadelphia. Remember, 2 years ago, 38-35.
Yeah.
Chiefs, 38-35.
Yeah.
Under 2 minutes to play. Controversial holding call on a Philly DB.
You're
First
right.
and goal.
Imagine that.
You're right.
Imagine that.
You're right.
They run the clock down. Harrison Butker kicks a chip shot to win it.
You're right.
38-35. If that scenario...
that.
If that scenario comes again without the controversial call, we got a great game, guys.
I can't see that happening. I cannot see
You
it.
don't see a close game?
No.
Oh,
No.
my God.
No, I do not.
So who wins?
I don't.
The Eagles.
Oh.
I'm going
Whoa!
SEC. I'm going.
We're not ready for picks yet.
Oh, okay. Scooter asked me. Scooter just asked me that. Scooter shouldn't have asked me that. You know I love
If
to
I
get
say jump off
No, I
the
won't.
bridge,
No, I won't.
do
I
you
won't.
go jump
I
off
may
the bridge?
look, but I
Before
won't
you go
jump,
there,
though.
let's start at the top quickly.
Look.
Quarterback. All right, Patrick Mahomes is the next GOAT in waiting, right?
No doubt.
Jalen Hurts, He's won 15 out of 16 games, and he's healthy.
Rick, look, man. Look.
Yeah, I noticed in that Commanders game, he got loose a few times.
Yes, he did.
He was obviously under orders to hit the deck.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no saving him now.
No,
You
get
know.
10, 12,
No.
15, yeah.
There is no saving.
Yeah.
And guys, let me say this. When you look at it, don't you think he's got a little bit of a bitter taste in his mouth? That's the way the last one
2
finished.
years ago.
You don't
2
forget
years
that.
ago.
Yeah,
He
you
had
don't
that
forget
goofball
that.
fumble, remember?
Yeah.
Or in the first half, and
You don't
Kansas City,
forget
he was dropping back, and
Yeah.
he just dropped
Yeah.
it. Kansas
And
City scored on it,
I
and it's
just-
still a close game.
It was, Rick. And
3-point difference.
the weapons they have now, Rick, versus 2 years ago, it's not even close.
We're going to get into
It's
that.
not
Look,
even close, Rick.
I don't think the quarterbacks will be integral, but the difference is Philadelphia's defense and how they're able to handle Mahomes and all his weapons,
Yeah.
and the creativity of Andy Reid.
Yeah.
That's where the interesting matchup to me.
I agree. I agree with you on that, Rick. And the thing that I think Jalen is going to have to be concerned about and worried about is defense. Those blitz packages that's going to be coming at him.
Spagnuolo will come after him.
You know he's going to throw some stuff. Rick, he's going to throw the kitchen sink
wasting
at
your
him.
time.
We are not
We
waiting.
all-
This is great.
We
exercise.
all know the difference in what's deciding this game.
Please inform
It's
us.
the NFL. The officials
Rick,
will decide.
we
You
hope it does
constantly
not come
sit
to
on your
that.
little soapbox
We hope
saying,
it-
don't blame the refs.
We hope it doesn't
You
come to that.
constantly
Scooter,
do that.
no.
That the
Can't
refs,
be.
one call, 2 calls, doesn't solve
Not
the
the
game.
NFL.
Oh, my God.
College, maybe.
I hope-
The NFL.
I hope that they don't
It's
use
all rigged.
Oh,
Stop
my
it, Scooter.
God. He's playing
I
with
hope
you.
that they do not use the Michael Jordan rule on Patrick Mahomes. That's all I'm hoping
It's
for.
in the book.
That's all I'm hoping
When in
for.
doubt, throw the flag if
Do
you're
not
touching
use
that
the Michael
quarterback.
Jordan rule on Patrick Mahomes, please.
I think it might have gone over the top on the Mahomes thing, though.
A little bit.
To the point where
Little
the
bit.
Eagles might get away with a little more than normal. You know,
Well,
because they don't want to be saying, "Oh, y'all taking care
We'll
of Mahomes."
see.
Yeah,
We'll see.
I,
Look,
you're right, though. You're right, Scooter. You're right. They know it's out there.
The biggest
They know.
difference between 2 years ago, 1 and
Oh,
1A.
it's a big difference, Rick.
Saquon Barkley was not on the Eagles
Rick, he
2
was
years
not on
ago.
the team,
and
buddy.
up in the
You
box.
think that makes a difference?
What?
Damn.
What?
I'm being sarcastic
Okay.
again.
Defensive coordinator
Okay.
Vic Fangio, who's
Man.
right up there with Spagnuolo. Come on, Vic Fangio.
He is, Rick.
He wasn't directing this Eagles defense 2
Rick,
years
let me
ago.
tell you something, man.
Saquon Barkley has rushed for 2,400 plus yards.
I know. It's-
You just
He
gotta
can
give
break
him
one
a
at
crease.
any minute.
Rick, if you just give him a crease, man, I'm telling you, he could take it to the house, man.
He can. He's done
That's
it like
dangerous.
6 times this year with
That's dangerous.
touchdown runs of 60 yards or more.
Rick.
6 times.
That's crazy, Rick.
He did it on the first play
That's more
against the
than half
Commanders.
his
All right,
Really,
look.
all those long runs, you really don't you really think of him more as a power runner? And then if he
Combination.
breaks all those
Combination.
Yeah.
But Philly's offensive line
Philly, that-
opens these
Rick,
gaps for him. Look,
And fourth quarter, Rick, I think that's what's going to make the difference. If the game is close.
the other side for Kansas City is they've got some pretty good receivers now with Hopkins
They do.
and this young
They
kid
do.
Worthy and of course Kelsey and
They do.
they have a group. If they just run around and find an open like Kelsey does, Mahomes is going to find them.
He will.
So
And
your
that's-
secondary guys for Philadelphia,
That's
they
what
better be on
got-
their
Rick,
toes.
that's what they've got to be aware of, because if you give Mahomes, I'm thinking the strategy for Mahomes is keep him between the tackles. Think about that now.
Don't let him.
If,
yeah.
if he gets outside the tackles, Rick, that's where he's so effective at.
2 more
man.
seconds and he's got it. All right, quickly. Trenches play. KC, Philadelphia in the trenches.
Oh man, Philadelphia! Come
Philadelphia.
on now, Rick. That's not even a
Philadelphia.
question.
They got a
That's
great.
not even a question.
What are we getting out of
Where
you
is
this
he? Where is
segment?
he at?
Holy smokes! The
Scooter
line
at,
is
man?
1.5
Oh,
early in
my
the week.
goodness, man.
Kansas City by 1.5. The over and under is 48.5.
Wow.
Interesting.
Unbelievable.
Kinda
First
low.
time out. We're coming back with so much more from SoundOff from Caesar Sportsbook. Stay right there.
It is good. The Miller Lights win the big game.
You're right, Luke. Miller Lite is less filling.
And tastes great.
Wait, is this a dream?
No, Luke. This is a Miller Lite commercial.
Coors Banquet, the same brewing tradition since 1873. When you're the favorite beer of rock stars and cowboys, you don't compromise. That's our legacy. What do you want to go down in history for? Start your legacy. Coors Banquet.
What's bugging you?
Is it roaches? They're the first pest you think of for indoor bugs. and a health threat. At J&J, we offer weapons to eliminate and prevent infestation of your home or business. Let us take care of what's bugging you. Contact us today for a free inspection.
The mystery reward multiplier only here at Horseshoe Lake Charles. All guests, it's coming up this week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday,
Yes.
Super Bowl week, right? You guess, you come down here, swipe that Caesars reward card in the designated promotional kiosk all across the casino floor. You got a chance to win 100 times your free credit play. It's called the mystery reward multiplier, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday of this week, Super Bowl week, only here in the month of February, only at Horseshoe Lake Charles. All right, guys. Coming up, we're going to talk about McNeese former coach, former Miami DC Lance Guidry, now with the LSU coaching staff. That's coming up. But first, Cowboy basketball. We warned you they weren't going to run the table, so they lose by 8 to a tough Nichols team. Let me throw this at you. How many times is any basketball team, outside of little dribblers, you're not going to hit one three-pointer? Not one. McNeese hit no three-pointers.
That's kind of rare. That's kind of rare.
Well, LSU hit one.
Did they?
And got beat by 30. So that
there you go. There you go. That's the game, right, Scooter?
Yeah.
But that's really not. Were they trying to shoot?
Oh, they shot them. I mean, after a while, but they were bricks. And on the other side, Nichols, this is talking about the Saturday game.
Well,
our show production
22.
is before the Monday night game against Incarnate Word, so we're going back to Saturday Nichols. You're right. How many times does the opposition going to shoot 50% from three-point? They hit 11 out of 22.
Wow.
So it was a 33-point differential outside of the because of three-point.
Because of 3 points. But you still lose by 8.
I wouldn't be too concerned.
Oh, I'm
except
not concerned.
To play devil's advocate, they barely squeaked by the game before. If you're talking about how dominant they are,
You're talking about Nichols or Corpus Christi? Because they only beat Corpus Christi by 1.
That's what I'm saying.
That's okay.
Corpus.
Barely squeaked by that game.
Right.
That's a pretty good team.
Good team.
Corpus Christi, and then they lose to Nichols.
Right.
So
third of a 3-game road swing.
I wouldn't argue if you want to say maybe it was a good loss for them, at least to wake them up.
How about this? Last week, Will Wade, get ready, the alerts, waving a flag. This is the exact same week they lost to Southeastern last year.
Really?
On the road. The
Really?
exact same time in the schedule. And then what happened? You get a little wake-up call.
Yeah.
Right? You jocks need a wake-up call.
You're bragging
about predicting that they would lose the game.
Common sense.
Oh, okay.
Common sense.
We know you're going to lose.
I'll go out on a limb. They're not going to lose another one in the regular season.
All right. The challenge is there. I don't know. They got a couple of pothole games coming up.
Yeah.
Corpus Christi later this month comes back here, and then they got to go to Southeastern. So I hope you're right.
Will Wade's going to get him right. No doubt about
you get
that.
outscored by 33 on the three-point line.
Yeah.
I mean, it was, and Nichols was just ripping the nets.
Sometimes the team gets hot like that, Rick, and it happens.
21-game conference winning streak, longest in the country, ends at 21.
Yeah.
Don't freak out. This is a pretty good top-heavy league. The 3 or 4 teams in the Southland is pretty good. So let's not freak out about that.
And did you see it? They were ranked 6th nationally for the best
mid-major.
Yeah.
Mid-major poll. Yeah, mid-major poll. All right, like I said, show production before the Monday night Incarnate Word game.
Yeah.
I'm going to follow your lead. I'll take care of Incarnate Word. All right.
Yeah.
All right. I said it early in the show.
Here we
I
go.
watched it.
Here we go.
LSU against #1 Auburn. It doesn't happen very often. I thought they were in the game at stretches. I thought they battled.
Well, for most of this year, and let's face it, it's very much a rebuilding program.
Again with the rebuilding program.
But Scooter, what happened last year?
Yeah, well, they were the start of rebuilding, I guess you could say. but anyway.
They're still in the building finally.
Auburn, Alabama, they played about as good as they could. They played just good enough to get beat.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then they play Texas, which is not a great team.
Not a great team.
At home, a good chance, and just get annihilated.
Did I not ask you last week? I cannot recall. I asked both you guys. I think I did. Can Mac McMahon survive this year? This is year number what? Year number what?
He'll make the year, but he's done. He's gone.
He says he's gone.
He'll make the year, but he's done.
No,
he's
Scooter.
not
that
Dale
was a
Brown.
mess he inherited.
3 years though, Scooter.
But Scooter,
Will Wade goes in the
Look at-
portal and rebuilds a
Wait,
roster that
that's-
almost
that's-
beats two SEC teams.
that's the point I want to make to Scooter. That's the point I want to make to Scooter.
Well, okay.
There's no,
But-
you know what?
Thank you.
We're at a point, Scooter, in this time and age, and I get what you're saying when you say it was a rebuilding year, Kevin. I get all that, Scooter. But nowadays, with the portal, you can't use it as an excuse anymore.
I
You
agree.
cannot.
I agree.
You cannot.
And
You've got kids out there want to make a move, want to come somewhere. You've got to find the right kids to fit your system. Those days are gone. Well, we're in a rebuilding year.
Scott Woodard is going to have to dig deep in this
Nope.
McMahon story and see if there's anything there.
I don't see it happening this year.
Okay.
Now, next year,
I-
and the thing is, look at the league he's trying to survive in.
Did
I get
not
it.
one win Arkansas
They are-
with John Calipari go to Lexington at Rump Arena
Yeah.
on Calipari's first
Yeah.
and beat Kentucky?
Can you believe that?
They only had one win, just like LSU.
That may
Rick,
be
you made a good point, though,
The
Rick.
lowest day in
You made a good-
Kentucky basketball
Oh, I can imagine.
history.
I can imagine.
I had to watch
And-
some of that.
Calipari back at
I
Rump.
mean,
Did you-
If you're not aware, just hush for a
Go
minute.
ahead. Go ahead.
If you're not aware, Kentucky basketball fans are worse than Alabama football fans.
That's hard to believe, but I think
They
you're right.
really are.
Yeah, I
No,
think you're
no,
right.
they rough. They rough.
They really and they were not upset when Calipari left. He had about worn out his welcome
Yeah,
in
yeah,
Kentucky.
15 years. Yeah.
That's a long
Gosh,
time.
They were looking forward to humiliating him.
They
in
were.
his
Yeah.
return to
Good
Rupp
team, though.
Arena.
I mean, they got a
They
good
were.
team.
Who?
Kentucky.
Kentucky had a
Yeah,
good team.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mark
Good
Pope's
team.
got them
Top
going.
10.
Yeah.
Favorite, Rick, they were favored to
But
win
they
the
never
game.
were in that game.
No.
Arkansas, which is the only team LSU beat, was Arkansas.
You're
Look,
just feeding
look.
right into my theory, man.
And they beat the hell out of Kentucky.
They
Kentucky
did.
never was in that game.
They did.
You're talking about three-pointer.
You're feeding right
Arkansas is a bad three-point shooting team. They were like 12 of 24.
I know. It can
or
happen.
something.
It can happen. It's the SEC this year.
It
Up
is the
against
SEC.
clock. LSU football coaching staff has got a lot of bayou running through it. We're coming right back.
What's bugging you?
Is it ants? They're crazy, tiny, irritating pests outside trying to get in. At J&J, we offer weapons to locate, eliminate, and prevent their entering your home or business. Let us take care of what's bugging you. Contact us today for a free inspection.
And it's good. The Miller Lights win the big game.
You're right, Luke. Miller Lite is less filling and tastes great.
Wait, is this a dream?
No, Luke. This is Miller Lite commercial.
All right, welcome back to Sound Off, coming to you from Caesar Sportsbook, Horseshoe Lake Charles. Great music coming up this
Yes.
Saturday. It's right there at Bruise Brothers next to the Sportsbook. The Night Rockers on stage, 9 o'clock at
Night
Bruise
Rockers.
Brothers, coming up on Valentine's Day.
That's a big day for a lot of us.
Valentine's Day, remember, February 14th. Rusty Matoir and Zydeco Crush is going to be at the 1931 Lounge here at Horseshoe Casino.
Guys,
That's
let me
Valentine's
just say
Day.
this. That is the one day,
Mark that
guys,
down.
that we've got to get right. Okay? Let's get that day right.
You got to get it right. I got a lot of points I can ching.
Let's get
You
that day
gotta
right,
all right.
guys, okay? That's
Fun
the only
shows
day.
next week.
Yeah.
McNeese star basketball players.
That should be fun.
Christian Shoemate and Quadir Copeland
The dunk
will
master.
be in the fourth chair at separate times.
That
of
should be
course.
fun.
We're not going to
That
let
should
them
be
sit
fun.
on each other. Next week on Sound Off, Shoemate and
We
Copeland
got
will
to
be
ask
here
some
to talk
questions
about
about what does it
basketball
look
with the
like
Cowboys.
going toward the rim. What's the visual? You know what I'm saying? We
The
can ask
visual.
those kind of questions.
Oh,
man.
he's looking at the
Those
top
are
of the
good
I
backboard.
questions.
wouldn't know that.
Those are
You're
good
talking.
questions, man.
That Copeland
Those are good
kid,
ones.
he can throw it down
He
too.
can, too.
He can throw it
Yes,
down
he
too.
can,
That's
Rick.
next week. Shoemate
Looking
and Copeland.
forward. That
on
should
the
be
show.
fun, man.
All right, last week we hinted that former McNeese head coach Lance Guidry,
Yes.
Miami Hurricane, former defensive coordinator down with the Canes, was kind of heading to Baton Rouge to go on. We couldn't. We hinted.
And I
it wasn't
told you
official
guys,
yet.
I
Going
said,
to the
hey,
LSU coaching
Can't
staff.
say nothing, but there he is. He's a Tiger now.
All
We'd
right.
love to have him.
Great.
For-
It's
for-
great for both of them.
Exactly.
Both him
Yes,
and
it is.
LSU.
It's an analyst role.
Yes.
A defensive analyst.
Yes.
He'll work under Blake Baker. He doesn't need the money. Miami's paying him for 2
Miami's
years.
still paying him.
But it keeps
He wanted-
him-
he
my
wanted to
guess-
coach.
It
my
keeps him
guess,
active.
That's something to do for 1 year
Yeah.
Exactly.
until either something on-field assistant
At LSU.
Exactly.
at LSU or somewhere else.
Yeah,
Exactly,
or somewhere else.
Scooter.
It's a good
Exactly.
transition. So when you add a homegrown Louisiana guy like Lance Guidry, I mean from Welsh, Louisiana, to the LSU staff. You start digging into the layers.
Yes.
Kevin, you guys know the names. I won't run through
It's
the
a lot.
names. Everybody
It's a
knows
lot.
who they are.
It's a lot.
They all are either
right.
born in Louisiana, played football in Louisiana,
You're right.
coached
It's a lot
at
of
a
them, Rick.
school
It's a
in
lot.
Louisiana, has some type of tie to the state. All of them. Am I missing anybody?
I really hadn't thought about that much.
Think about
it.
Until you bring that up.
I mean,
but you are right, and I wonder if it's intentional.
It's gotta be.
Kelly, coming, never even coached in the South.
Exactly.
Doesn't know what Louisiana looks like. I guess.
Louisiana, which is the banana republic of the South.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do wonder if they're all good coaches.
No doubt.
I agree.
And now the latest hire, I think it was probably made official before Lance Guidry's announcement, is Alex Atkins.
Yeah.
Yes.
Look at his story. Now, not for Louisiana.
No,
but he
no.
coached at Tulane. So he recruited and he worked at Tulane for 2 or 3 years. He goes to Florida State as an O-line coach. Then he becomes OC.
Yeah.
They got great success. Then he gets fired because of last year's debacle, right?
Exactly. It was a
LSU picks him
debacle.
up as what? The run game coordinator
Yeah.
and assistant O-line coach.
Yeah.
And you know the big
And-
tie? I didn't know this until I started digging. He's got the connection to that big defensive lineman, Solomon Thomas,
You're exactly
who
right.
went there because of Atkins,
exactly
who's now
right.
coming to LSU
You're exactly
because
right.
of Atkins.
Look,
New Orleans area. guy.
New Orleans.
What it comes down to, Rick, when you look at it in Scooter, it's relationships that these coaches have developed that people
Huge.
hiring them know exactly what they have.
Yeah.
And that benefits me if I'm a head coach to get this guy because you know
I
what?
think it's-
he's got people that we need here at LSU.
I don't know anything about the Seminole program and Mark Novell. He's been through a couple of tough years,
He
right?
has.
But he's an
He had a
idiot.
great year.
But he didn't
Yeah.
go to the playoffs, right? He's got to be an idiot to fire this guy after one bad year. It was bad.
Rick,
And he's got the tie to this great player, Solomon Thomas.
that you know can
Sometimes
make
you
a
bite the
difference.
bullet.
That can make a difference in your team, man.
You
Having
bite the
this
bullet.
kid.
Now,
I
good
don't know
for
about
LSU.
That. I don't know about that. That was kind of
I
weird what he
mean,
did with that guy. That
Brian
was weird.
Kelly, y'all know him. Y'all
was
know
weird.
him. Y'all cover him. I
Yeah.
don't. It took him 3 years, Scooter. But
Yeah.
is he figuring something out
he
in
better
regards
figure
to
it out.
Well, that's
Louisiana?
like,
better
I
figure it
have
out.
to admit, till you brought that up, I hadn't really thought about
all.
it.
They're all.
But,
Well,
if
look.
the least, maybe that's a tiebreaker when hiring.
Look, the first mistake Kelly made coming to LSU was when he fired Corey Raymond. I don't
Yeah.
care what nobody say. That was the biggest
Yeah.
mistake he made
Well, he
was
didn't
firing Corey
fire
Raymond.
Corey Raymond. He just didn't retain him.
Scooter, I'm gonna leave the show. Scooter, you kidding me,
That's
right?
kind of firing him, Scooter.
Well,
You're arguing semantics.
A new head
Okay,
coach comes
okay.
in, you
Okay.
know, you
All
serve
right.
at his pleasure. You don't expect him to
Yeah.
keep the entire previous
Yeah.
staff.
Okay.
I
All
got you. Sorry, Coach, we're not bringing you back.
It's a
What does
little
that mean,
different.
Coach? Are you firing me or
It's,
you?
well, it's a little different than saying you're fired like it was your
Oh,
fault.
Okay.
now he's playing Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Now he wants to be
Yeah.
Donald. You're fired. Oh my gosh,
Okay.
that's a bell ringer.
That's
there.
a bell
I know
ringer,
what
Rick.
you're saying, Scooter.
I
but-
know what he's
all
saying,
right.
Scooter, but we know what it's saying too.
Woo! All right, let's move on to the. And I think it's an interesting angle. Do your own research on
Yeah.
that LSU football coaching staff because they are all Louisiana ties.
You've got the number one portal class. Am
now
I
they got
correct in saying
Solomon
that?
Thomas because of Alex.
The number
I
one
think it's
portal
cool.
class.
I think it's cool. All right, what a story out of Mobile, the Senior Bowl. Jack Besh, former LSU
Yeah.
receiver, who got the nods for the best receiver at the whole Senior Bowl.
Camp
Yeah.
at the camp.
He is a horse.
At the camp.
Yeah,
Great
he
year
was
at TCU.
He was playing at LSU before he
Yeah.
And he was a horse.
Yeah.
That was one that surprised me transferring.
Big time.
But
And
I
we
mean,
said
good for
that.
him, of course.
We said that,
you
Scooter,
know,
we did.
You know the story. Older
do.
brother
We
Tiger
do.
Besh was one of the
Down in New
victims
Orleans.
killed at the terrorist attack on Bourbon
Yeah.
Street. So Besh comes to the Senior Bowl, heavy heart, wearing number 7, the number his
But you
brother
know-
wore at Princeton. 7's all on the helmet. He scores the winning touchdown with 7 seconds on the
That's
clock.
crazy, Rick.
You couldn't script
I don't.
it any
You
better.
couldn't, Scooter. I
And he
mean, what do you
wins
do?
bowl, Senior Bowl MVP.
Somebody's bigger than us that's in all of this, man. Okay.
The
Somebody's bigger than
emotional
us.
embrace with the family. I mean, if you're not almost in tears
Man,
because
it's-
what that family
it's-
has gone through.
Yeah. Could that be a Louisiana story, like a movie?
Oh, it's gotta be a movie.
Could that be something?
Gotta be.
coming, guys?
You can write it.
You cannot.
You got a lot of
script
spare
that.
time.
You
I've
cannot
never
script
written a
that
movie.
better than that. You can't script it better than that.
And as a
can't.
football side note, I found this Pro Football Focus has Jack Bech rated number 57 on the total draft prospects.
Total
He's
players.
going first day. Total.
Wow,
Maybe not
Rick.
first round, but first day.
Wow, Rick.
First
Wow.
day is the first round.
It gets into the
Well,
second.
first and second.
It gets into the second.
No, I think they do second round.
It gets to the
don't
second a
think
little
I
bit.
think that. I think
Depends
they do.
on TV time.
All right, we're out of time. Our final round of the show coming up next.
What's bugging you?
Is it termites? The season is now and they are swarming. At J&J Exterminating, we offer some very effective weapons against infestation of your home or business. Let us take care of what's bugging you. Don't wait. Contact us now for a free inspection.
J&J has protected Louisiana homes and businesses for over 60 years.
Call him today, make the pests go away. J&J Exterminating. Yeah.
Coors Banquet, the same brewing tradition since 1873. When you're the favorite beer of rock stars and cowboys, you don't compromise. That's our legacy. What do you want to go down in history for? Start your legacy. Coors Banquet.
All right, welcome back to the show. Glad you're hanging with us. Super Bowl predictions coming up just in a second. Shocker Saturday night late. Lakers and Mavericks, NBA.
What was going
Anthony
on with
Davis
that?
to Dallas. Luka Doncic to the Lakers. The biggest impactful trade in NBA history.
But the stuff that we don't hear about, guys.
Biggest.
What?
Biggest.
It is.
None bigger.
There's no doubt it is.
Luka and AD.
The inside stories we don't hear about, guys, is that does anybody know how good friends Luka and LeBron is? Hell, they're good friends. So you kind of wonder how these things work out.
I went back and forth on this. I really did. I think LA got the better of it because
They did.
Luka Doncic is 25, Davis is 30 plus. 30 years old, and he's got a problem with injury as well. I'm
both
talking
of them
about AD.
do, but I'm going to say the Lakers got the better of this deal. Yes.
This
Y'all
is
done yet?
a mega trade
It is.
of talent,
It is.
Scooter.
But nobody
Dallas
saw it
is
coming,
freaking
Rick.
out,
This
man.
is the point, Rick. Nobody saw it coming.
No one. They didn't even tell LeBron about it.
Wow.
This is big. I'm really. I have fun watching Luka
I
and
know
LeBron.
folks that are Maverick fans are like,
Oh
oh
my
God,
gosh, that
what's
is huge.
going
All
on
right.
here, man?
All right. You know how I love great running backs. I'm going to get on a tangent in a couple of weeks about it. Saquon Barkley,
I know where
Philadelphia.
you're going with this.
29-27, Eagles over the Chiefs. I am all in on Barkley.
You with me with the Eagles? Oh, you with the Eagles
29-27.
too?
Well, we got to give a score.
I think.
Well, you can pick. I'm going 29-27.
I'm going Eagles too.
Are you really?
Yes,
Well,
I am.
guys, you know
Although
it's
I want
kinda-
to talk about this.
I'm going Eagles, which you already know.
Wow, a clean sweep.
17-21. It's not going to be a
I'll
running.
say 26-22.
What put you over the edge for Philadelphia? You.
No,
I'm talking to
that's
you.
I know what does it for me.
I'm saying Saquon's going to be a
I
big
know what
difference.
does it for me.
Wells not ready for a three-peat.
Okay,
I love the storyline.
I do too.
I love the history.
I do too.
I really do.
I just
and
think
it'll be
that-
close and a great game,
You know,
I think.
we've
Are we
said this.
still on the? I want to talk about this.
It's going to wait till Thursday.
Yes,
We're out
we
of
will.
time.
We're done.
Oh,
Time to go.
Wait till
We were.
Thursday.
Time
Good
to go.
Lord.
It was Thursday.
We're all
I
going
don't even know
Eagles.
what day it is.
You don't
Eagles.
even know what day it is. The week before
Eagles.
Super Bowl. We'll see you next time, buddies, right here at Caesar Sportsbook.